get there, just cook a bit of it, put it in your pot of beans, and you will start selling market like never before. But don't forget the terms and conditions, oh.
This were the only exact words that Olabisi the bean seller could remember from the old woman whom she met at her canteen. Olabisi was a beautiful young woman who was going through financial challenge. She needed money to pay for her children's school fees, and her husband needed serious medical attention because of his kidney cancer. Every responsibilities grew heavily on her neck. Her friends told her to abandon her family and come join them in their hookup business, but she refused. Olabisi knew how to do one thing very well, and that was cooking African-styled beans, known as Agoyin. She would wake up very early in the morning, cook and then go to the market near her local community to sell her cooked beans. But one thing was strange: people didn't like her food. No matter how delicious and healthy her food was, they didn't buy from her. Instead, they bought from her neighbor who doesn't even have the skills to prepare a delicious beans. Something was off and Olabisi knew it, but she didn't know how to go about it. One faithful day, she was crying deep in her mind because things had grown tougher than before. The children were thrown out of school because of their inability to pay their school fees, and her husband was on the verge of losing his life as she could not afford the 3 million naira surgery fee. She cried uncontrollably in her shop, and then suddenly an old woman came to her and begged for food. At first, Olabisi thought it was a customer, but not knowing that old woman had just come to beg for food. Olabisi was angry in her mind, but she later gave the old woman the cooked beans. The old woman balanced on a chair in Olabisi's canteen and ate like someone who had not eaten for days. Olabisi noticed this and gave her extra takeaway so that the old woman could eat when she got home. As she was packaging the food, the old woman noticed Olabisi's tears and asked if everything was okay. Olabisi got so emotional and started crying bitterly, telling the old woman how she has been suffering and having little to no sales on her business. The old woman was touched by her story and decided to give Olabisi a solution to her problem, if only she was willing to keep it a secret. Olabisi quickly said yes and knelt down before the old woman, agreeing to her terms and seeking for the secret help. She was given a black powder inside a waterproof to use at exactly 12 midnight for cooking her beans. Olabisi quickly burst into laughter because the secret from the old woman was so epic and weird.
To help you, my child, people pay heavily for secrets like this, or do you think that I can't help you?
The old woman said this to her with anger, then she left and was heading towards a junction in the market. Before Olabisi ran to apologize, the woman had disappeared, no traces of her whereabout. She asked some market men and women if they all saw an old woman who bought beans from her canteen. They all said no, and that they never saw the old woman. It got strange because Olabisi knew how slow the woman was while walking. Well, she just waved it off and decided to pack because it was getting dark. She later got home that night, reasoned the whole instructions, and was ready to do whatever it takes to start making money. When her children went to sleep, she quickly opened the black powder and poured a huge chunk of it to her food. The next day, she started selling her beans as usual, and to her greatest surprise, people from the market started buying her beans. Some days a huge number of people would flood her canteen like never before. Olabisi made a lot of money like never before. She made close to 7 million naira in the space of 3 months just from selling her cooked beans. Other market women were so jealous of her. She became so surprised. She paid for her children's school fees. Her husband's kidney cancer surgery fee was paid and got treated. Everything became so perfect again. Olabisi tried searching for the old woman who gave her the black powder, but never saw her. No traces of her whereabout. At some point, she thought that the old woman was sent by God to deliver her from poverty. One faithful day, Olabisi tried cooking her beans as usual. But this time, her black powder had finished, but she ignored and thought the customers would come as usual. When she came to her canteen to sell her beans as usual, then suddenly from nowhere, 3 children who were on black clothes outfit came to the front of her canteen. They said to her,
"Your time is up. She has given you enough time."
She stood there in shock, and then a man came quickly and complained that he saw maggots in his beans. In the process of trying to calm him down, Then 5 other person came to her shop to also lay complaint on the maggots they discovered in her beans. Before she could understand what was going on, people started having running stomach in the market square. Everyone fell sick instantly. Then suddenly a huge maggot rose from the pot of beans and started chasing the community people in the market. Chaos and panic came suddenly, and people started running for their lives. Olabisi was scared because she hasn't seen such a thing before. The old woman appeared and told her, "You know you owe me. I have come to take what belongs to me." Olabisi started crying and became very confused. She didn't know when she had an agreement with the old woman whom she helped a long time ago. The villagers became angry. They all wanted to burn her canteen and beat Olabisi to stupor. Then she started confessing to the public that she used a black powder given to her by an old woman to cook her wonderful beans that they all suddenly liked. They all stood and heard her story for a while. An angry man protested, "Madam, your story is similar to mine. That old lady died many years ago in this market, and she has vowed to destroy every business in this market square. Her name is Madam Kosi. I knew her when I was still new in this market. Many people hated her food because it was bad. Omo, she has come, and she is ready to take her glory back." Quickly the sky turned dark, the wind started blowing heavily, thunder began to rumble, and then the old woman came and started laughing. The villagers ran dearly for their lives. What we don't know is how would Olabisi and the villagers be dealt with. Well, watch out for part 2.